The very warmest of welcomes to you indeed. What a pleasure to have your company for all of the action from Tallinn 2025. This is the first day of competition at the Rhythmic Gymnastics European Championships. We're about to bring you two group apparatus finals in junior competition. Hope you're looking forward to it. So far, we've had the all-around competition. Wonderful victory for Ukraine, their first ever in junior group competition at the European Championships. Spain won the silver medal, first time they've been on the podium, and the Italians took bronze. We're just waiting for the introduction of all of the gymnasts that will be participating in these finals. We're going to see the Group 5 hoops final, followed by the Group 5 pairs of clubs final.
Alustame juunioriklassi iluvõitlemise ründkavade finaaliga 5 rõngast. Esimesena võistleb Ungari.
And here we go with the first finalists. Please welcome the junior group from Hungary.
It is time to begin. Hungary will get us underway. They were the 8th best performers in qualification. The score was 22.1 and they were the 9th strongest performers overall in the all-around competition. So the best of luck to the Hungarian group as they get underway. They will start this Group 5 hoops final. Thoroughly well done to Hungary, getting things started. The gymnasts Laura Virag, Hagimati, Livia Jena, Ilya Anna Kahovets, Panna Peta and Laura Ritter. My name's Ollie Hopman and joining me is Blythe Lawrence for all of the coverage today. Good start that from the Hungarians. They'll be looking to improve upon execution based on qualifying.
What a wonderful way to set the tone for the competition this evening. It was very well executed. The tosses and throws, for the most part, were very clean, as were the catches. There was maybe one place, just right in the middle, where the catch was questionable, because it was happening with someone else doing something that was similar but not the same thing that could impact their difficulty. But overall, a clean performance and a good start.
Most of the Hungarian gymnasts based in Budapest or in the nearby area, and they performed well in Junior European Cup events across the course of the season. Top 5 in the all-around in Baku, 4th in Burgas. They've been very close to places on the podium.
So please send to the group a round of applause for Hungary. Everybody, come on, put your hands together.
Brilliant display earlier from the Ukrainians. That gold medal has really created national news in their country, and I've been having conversations with Ukrainian rhythmic gymnastics fans, and they are thrilled about it. History-making moment that for Ukraine, first ever European title in a junior group competition. So a massive accomplishment for them. Spain, silver medal, first time making an appearance on the podium. The Italians, again for them, first time that they've been on the podium in the all-around competition. So an opportunity definitely to make history in this event, and we're already seeing it accomplished by so many of these junior competitors. I think, Clive, you and I were really taken by the standard of junior competition today in the all-around.
It was really, really nice to see various nations, really across the European continent, rise up and perform so well under this new code. We've seen displays of great ingenuity in terms of the routine construction, the choreography, the dance steps, the feeling that is created, and the collective work as well.
And it maybe there's a little more space for that to happen in the new code of points, where artistry is significantly important, and there's a little more time for the groups to express themselves, but individuals as well. Now we have the scoring, and really well done to Hungary. No surprise that this is higher than qualification. It's almost a full mark better. They got up by 9/10. So an excellent start, that. And on we go. To the all-around bronze medalist. This is the group from Italy, and they were the third best in qualification for this particular final with a score of 24.1. They've got to be regarded as real contenders for a place on the podium. One thing to watch for here is how smooth their sense of partnership is. There's lots of lovely use of canon. They really work well together.
The melodies and symphonies. Everything I know is a life without a light. There's a longing inside my soul, and in the deepest void where time is but a scenery, I'll be waiting for you, darling. Look into my eyes and tell me what's inside. Look me to my head, you don't know what it's like to leave it all behind. Take a step into the night, hear the voices singing, dancing gracefully to the beat of your heart until the morning comes. knew was the taste of your lips against mine. We were bound for eternity. Now I am lost inside this everlasting reverie, and I'm losing my mind. Take a step into the night. Hear the voices singing. Come away with me through the echoes of time until the morning comes. Still you rise into my eyes and call me back to life. I still think of you in the dark of the night, a silent lullaby.
Don't they work nicely together? Wonderful sense of partnership and collaboration from these young Italians. Elisa Maria Comignani, Chiara Cortese, Virginia Galeazzi, Ginevra Pascarella, and Elisabetta Valdifiori. Really interesting to watch that, Blythe. A sense of calmness despite enormous intensity, a lot going on, and yet they seemed in full control.
It's such a dramatic routine, and they handled the risk beautifully. And there really was so much difficulty, so much complexity from start to finish in this exercise. It's become an Italian trademark to see the flicking of the apparatus with the handstand position. And they demonstrated that so well here. It's really a nice job done by the Italians. There's a whole section of them in the stands in this arena, and they are just roaring.
There's a lot that can go wrong in that routine because, as you say, lots of the flicks, the rebounds, and that can lead to trajectory imprecision deductions. And maybe it's worth just looking at what those are.
Absolutely. So it depends on the number of steps that the gymnast takes to stabilize herself to be able to make the catch. If there is 1 to 2, there are 1 to 2 steps, it's just a 1/10 of a point deduction. 3 to 4 steps, you're looking at 3/10 of a point. 5 or more steps, that will cost half a point.
And they certainly risk that with some of the high degree of complexity in the routine. Now, we are expecting a higher set of difficulty scores from a few of the other groups, including from this next group, who had the highest difficulty of anyone in the qualification process. Now we are to see Ukraine,
No green lights for Ukraine. So
but I think they've taken their positions just a little too early.
Alguskohtadele, Team Ukraine, please stop.
please stop.
Judges are not ready yet.
So the gymnasts
let's learn.
obviously fully focused and taking up their opening positions, and they're being instructed now to step off the carpet. That's a difficult moment for the group.
Too early, Ukrainian group.
We're just waiting for the score to
Just
come
need the
in
results.
for the Italians.
Originally.
It's different from the all-around where there were a few different judging panels, so the groups were coming on much more quickly.
Nad rõngakalaga olid teised Hispaania võistkonna järel.
All of the gymnasts in the Italian squad from the north of the country, as they tend to be in the sport of gymnastics in Italy. From places like Bari,
And
Pescara,
here is the
Torino,
score.
Pesaro,
24.1.
Aosta and Bologna. 24.1 for Italy. That's ever so consistent, exactly the same as the preliminary stage. All they've done is just slightly increase the execution and slightly lower the artistry.
The group
But
of
it's the same number.
Ukraine.
And now we say congratulations to Ukraine. Here are your gold medalists from the all-around competition, and my word did they earn it. This is the most difficult we anticipate of any of the 5 hoops routines. 10.3 was the difficulty score in qualification. That compared to the 9.6 we've just seen from Italy and the 9.7 from Hungary. So a lot going on here. They controlled it beautifully in the all-around competition. Good luck to them. I think it's really important to preface all of the feedback that we give and all of the analysis by saying that nothing will undo the fact that they're the all-around champions of Europe in junior competition. And they've already written their place in history. It didn't go, obviously, as well as it did in the all-around final. And I think we should now look at some of the deductions that they're likely to incur there.
When a gymnast loses her apparatus and the apparatus goes out of bounds, there's an immediate 1.3 points in deduction. There's a full mark gone for having the apparatus lost out of bounds, and then an extra 0.3 of a point because the apparatus has touched the ground out of bounds. But normally, for picking up the replacement apparatus, sometimes a gymnast goes out of bounds herself, and that incurs another 0.3. That didn't happen this time, and I've got to congratulate the gymnast for her quick thinking in taking the replacement without actually touching the ground out of bounds. Sometimes gymnasts get a bit flustered and they kind of give away that extra 0.3. They were just trying to get everything they possibly could in minimizing the deduction, and they picked up and carried on afterwards as though nothing had happened. That's a very good sign.
The challenge, of course, when you lose the apparatus is you're not just sacrificing execution and penalty marks, you're also sacrificing difficulty because the gymnast can't immediately carry on with the routine as they're intending. So some parts risk not being performed.
That too, and there is an additional deduction for a technical fault that halts the exercise for more than 4 seconds that causes a reset. I don't know if that's going to apply to the routine that we just saw, because the other 4 members of the group were able to more or less carry on with what they were doing while the replacement apparatus was being fetched. So it will be interesting to see, but it is clear that when it happens that an apparatus is lost out of bounds, Well, there's a whole slate of deductions that come into play somewhere in the neighborhood of 1.5 to 2 points.
And this is a young group of gymnasts, of very promising gymnasts, all bar one, 14. One of them is 15. And ultimately, they'll learn from that experience, just as they will learn from the fact they're now the champions of Europe, and they should hopefully feel incredibly confident about that. You just watched Margarita Melnik, Anastasia Nikolenko, Taisia Redka, Alexandra Nicole Samokina, and Katarina Shershen. They were the second best performers in qualification, so certainly the door will open a little bit for some of the other contenders now. The top performers in the preliminary round, Spain, will go last, and the Spaniards scored only 500ths more than the Ukrainians in qualification.
Ukraine, 21.42 points.
So it's 21.4 for Ukraine.
Turkey.
Our next junior group. A warm welcome for Turkey.
We now go to the performance of Turkey. They were 8th in the all-around competition. 7th best in qualification here, and really impressive. This actually was the routine that got everything started, and it was performed with real control and security.
First things first, I'ma say all the words inside my head. I'm fired up and tired of the way that things have been. No, the way that things have been. No, I was broken from a young age, taking my soul into the masses, writing my poems for the few that took me, shooting me, feeling me, singing from heartache, from the brain, taking my message from the veins, speaking my lesson from the brain, seeing the beauty through the.
The last 30 seconds of that builds fabulously, and it concludes with real style. One of the notable features of the routine, the clarity and precision of the hoops in flight. Lots of amplitude, lots of intensity, and yet they kept the flight path secure. We've just seen Rugile Adali, Alisa Akun, Nisa Sare Ikelen, Elif Pekakas, and Aisha Vesina Yetkin.
The apparatus difficulty, just like you said, which is based on the tosses and catches that the group does, was just razor sharp in this routine. Their synchronicity as well in the fouette pivot series was great. It's a very complete routine, and it's got such a lovely sense of polish as well.
And that's particularly impressive when you consider that a couple of their gymnasts, Elisa Akun and Elif Begakaj, actually competed as individuals at the Bosphorus Cup last year. So in terms of the group's composition and how long it's been working, not a huge amount of time at all.
Sometimes it takes time as well for individuals to get used to competing as part of a group, to get used to throwing an apparatus and then not worrying about catching it or having to worry about catching something else. But they're handling things so well. It's a good omen, perhaps, for Turkey.
I think that's really well put. It's going to be exciting to see the development of this young group over the next little while. Now, their difficulty may well come out to be the lowest of all that we've seen so far. Perhaps not because of Ukraine having lost about a mark and a half of difficulty, but it may be around that score. There we go. I did wonder, it has come out as the lowest by a fraction. 22.1 is the score, and they did pick up 3/10 of penalty marks. There was a gymnast very close to the edge of the field of play. It may well be they just went across the line. It was hard to see from our vantage point where we're sitting, but it certainly looked close. But their score virtually the same as qualification. We go into the second half of the competition. This is Poland. They were the 5th best in qualification with 23.4. But such is the interesting nature of this particular final that if they were to get 23.4 here, they would be in the silver medal position. That sequence of Sinead turns right at the very end is just lovely to watch. Aspects of that were electric, sharp, synchronized, lovely catches. There was a section that seemed to slightly lose its way with some imprecise trajectories as well. So something of a mixed package there, but very promising from the Poles.
Yes, indeed. It was very sharp at the beginning, and they take a risk in their dynamic element with rotation, putting it right at the end of the routine. That was the sequence with the Sinead turns and the cartwheel that ended in the catch of the ribbon. And they did it well.
And I think what's particularly interesting about the performance from the Polish group is that we contextualize it with how good Poland has become at group rhythmic gymnastics from a senior point of view over the last few years. They've been out there regularly winning World Cup honours and looking a very complete force in the senior world. So it's only natural that we should now see a really strong junior group coming through. And that junior group, by the way, is Natalia Ijiniak, Maria Majkowska, Valeria Pinska, Laura Twachawa, and Leia Turowska. Paula Galaska was initially listed in the squad as well for these championships. They were 7th in the all-around competition. Leading the way, the Italians, and leading well by 1.1 marks. Oh, and by the way, we've got the host nation coming up next, and they are serious contenders. Serious contenders. Hope you're enjoying all of the action wherever you're watching from. It's wonderful to have your company for the Rhythmic Gymnastics European Championships, the 41st of their kind, and this day of live coverage of the junior competition. Just a group competition this year. It alternates. It will be just an individual competition next time. And we are so thrilled that you've chosen to spend your time with us and that you are sitting down in front of your television or device, whatever it may be you're watching it on, to be with us to celebrate the next generation of young athletes coming through. There's a bit of Estonian Eurovision celebration going on here as well. On the subject of, is it latte macchiato? Is that
Latte macchiato. Tommy Cash?
The Italians, well, it's the Italians who'll be cashing in at the moment because they are top of the leaderboard on 24.1. Tommy Cash is actually, I believe, due to play in this arena, the Unibet Arena, quite soon. As is Kylie Minogue. No disrespect to Tommy Cash, but I know which I would be buying a ticket for above any other there. One cannot hear a word said against Kylie.
And this is the venue to do it in as well. The largest sports space in all of Estonia.
It's a great space, isn't it?
It's vast and intimate at the same time.
That's very well put, it is, yes.
Really perfect for rhythmic gymnastics.
Now we have a scoring for the Poles. It's 23.9. Oh, well done, Poland. They're into the silver medal position. That is tremendous. They've gained half a mark from qualification, the Poles. in the city that is the European sports capital this year. We welcome the host nation. Estonia have arrived in Tallinn with their junior group ready and raring to go. Good luck to them. This has got some fabulous moments in it, by the way. 23.9 in qualification. That would be good enough for around second place. Tough start, fantastic recovery. What steel, what determination from these young Estonians. From Alexandra Ivanenko, Sofia Yakovleva, Kristina Yegorova, Ekaterina Kozinskaya and Anna Karolina Obolonina. They put everything they had into the all-around competition. They were fifth. It was a brilliant display. It's only natural that it didn't quite go as well here, but boy, did they get that back on track quickly.
And we can talk about the deductions, the two losses of the apparatus that will cost them about 2 points in their score. But what should be celebrated is the beauty and artistry of this exercise. And yes, how well executed all the rest of it was. We should remember that we are talking about very young gymnasts at the absolute dawn of their international careers. And you can just imagine if they have this kind of polish to their routines right now, what they'll be capable of in a couple of years. The future is bright indeed.
Their artistry score, which you touched upon there, Blythe, was the highest of anyone in qualification, 7.55, for very obvious reasons. There's a lovely sense of musicality. They have in their group Sofia Yakovleva, who actually was an individual finalist at the Junior World Championships of 2023 with the clubs.
This is the current ranking. Italy, Poland, Hungary, Turkey,
As things stand,
Ukraine.
Italy lead 24.1, then Poland 23.9, then Hungary 23. We have 2 more to go. And they've both got real potential to get on the podium, if not to win it. So do not go too far away, because we've got a long time before we have complete clarification. Well, I say a long time, 2 routines, but it's going to feel like a long time for the Italians, who are leading at the moment. Still to come after this, we've got the single apparatus final with the clubs, the 5 pairs of clubs competition. And then we're going to bring you the victory ceremonies for those, and also the all-around
The final
competition.
score for the group Estonia.
It's 22.25 for Estonia,
22.25.
so it is a drop of well over a mark and a half in qualifications, but most of that was lost at the start. It's what they then saved by getting it back on track that's so impressive. So congratulations, Italy, they're on the podium. Who's going to join them, and where will the Italians be? Now we see Israel, and they scored 22.65 in qualification. They were the 6th best, but they did have half a mark of penalties removed from their score. So if that is gone this time, they're in 3rd place. It had a tricky beginning, an extremely successful middle section, and a slightly tricky end. That performance in Israel, the gymnasts Melanie Malka, Sophia Prejin, Emilia Reutemann, Abigail Schved and Keren Sobol. Quite a lot to unpack there.
Perhaps what we should begin with is that part of being a junior is learning how to maintain the intensity and focus and concentration throughout not just one routine, but a full day of competition. We performed this beautifully in the qualification, but it's a long day. And then when you're in a precision sport like rhythmic gymnastics, and everything has to be just so, it can be so destabilizing when things come unraveled right at the beginning of the routine. They did a very nice job resetting and recapturing the momentum that they had, only to watch it, well, be difficult again, shall we say, at the end. But this is not a routine that's going to define them. This is a learning experience.
Their execution in qualification was 6.05, but the artistry score was excellent. It was the joint second highest of anyone, 7.5. And they did have some moments where the apparatus was lost. They also had moments where it seemed that a couple of gymnasts had to get their hands on the same apparatus. There was a little confusion as to what was to happen next. But their ability to recover from those moments and quickly move into the nets, really impressive. And again, let's just remind ourselves, we're watching 14 and 15-year-old athletes here in what is an enormous competition for them. This is huge. The 41st European Rhythmic Gymnastics Championship.
The group of Israel with this beautiful routine.
22.65 in qualification. 23 is the gatekeeping score for bronze. 23.9 is the gatekeeping score for silver. 24.1 holds gold. As things stand, with one score to come in and one performance to come. And just to remind you that tomorrow we've got the start of the senior individual qualification at 10 o'clock local time here in Tallinn. We're going to begin the first of 4 sets of performances. Israel's score is coming in. They've just done it, 23.45. They have gone ahead of the Hungarians, and crucially there for Israel, their difficulty 4/10 higher than Hungary, even though the execution is lower. The difficulty instrumental in carrying them into a position on the podium. However, we've got the top qualifiers to come. Congratulations, by the way, to Poland, who've just won their first ever group medal at the Junior Championships of Europe in rhythmic gymnastics. Now we go to Spain to finish off this final. The top qualifiers with 24.75. If they produce that here, they'll win gold by over half a mark. It is a routine so full of style, so full of character. We've just seen Monica De Juana, Paula Donoso, Noa Esplugues, Claudia Marino and Cynthia Ortega. And you are looking at the all-around silver medalist right there. Spain with a first ever medal in the group competition at the European Championships in the junior division. It's going to be hard for them to get the same sort of execution scores they produced in the all-around final because it was very, very high then. As a routine, it is mesmerising to watch.
Oh, it is. They make great use of dynamic effects, moments when the music and movement really harmonize together to create something that seems tailor-made.
And that's important from an artistry perspective. That's a phrase used in the Code of Points.
It is one of the paramount things when taking artistry into account in this Code of Points, yes. And yes, there were some trajectory issues. I'm sure that Spain is completely out of the running for a place on the podium. It's very difficult. And they didn't have perhaps a really major error, like a drop or an out of bounds or anything like that. So we'll see where this places them.
This could be an example of one of the things that we wax lyrical about all the time, Blythe, which is minimizing deductions. And those sprints to get the apparatus under control, those almost lunging catches that may look as though they're errors, but what they're actually doing, the gymnast, is keeping the deduction to as small a number as possible.
Some people think that gymnastics, all gymnastics, is a sport of perfection, but you could look at it another way and say that it's a sport of resilience. And this routine was a routine of resilience.
We wait for the number to come in for the Spanish group. Italy 24.1, Poland 23.9, Israel 23.45. It is time to discover what this score is for the Spaniards, who picked up 24.75 in qualification, which was also the all-around final where they won the silver medal. They were so close, Spain. 23.3. And the Italians have won the gold medal. Bronze to Israel, silver to Poland. That is an enormous accomplishment for the Poles. Truly history-making. For the first time on the podium in a group competition for juniors at the European Championships. And you were quite right, Blythe, in what you said about Spain still being part of the discussion, because by just a tenth and a half they miss out on a place on the podium. Perhaps crucially for Spain there, 9.1 for difficulty compared to 10.1 in qualification, and some of those trajectory imprecisions actually leading to the full skills not being performed as they were intended to be performed. Great effort from all though. And for Italy, a first group gold in Junior European Championship competition.
And these are the finalists in our next final with 5 clubs.
Now we are just a matter of moments away from moving on to the next final.
Poland, Turkey, Ukraine, Israel, Italy, Spain, Estonia and Bulgaria.
Meie ees ekraanidel on kurikakava finalistid taaskord on nende seas ka Eesti.
We now have the 5 pairs of clubs final. And this, it's important to remember, is effectively a 10 apparatus routine. It's double the complexity, double the potential to dazzle, double the potential for things to go wrong. We always anticipate the 5 pairs of clubs final to be a lower scoring one, just simply because of the increased jeopardy. That said, we've got some quite stunning clubs routines that you're about to see, really full of originality. There are routines that are very dramatic, there are ones that will really make you smile, and everything in between, frankly.
We will start into this apparatus final with 5 clubs.
Top qualifiers, Bulgaria, who were only 6th in the all-around. So the Bulgarians will be last to go and will be desperate to get out there. Let's begin, and let's congratulate every single junior group that's made it to a final today. It is a huge accomplishment. There were 22 groups that entered this competition. We're going to start with Poland, who've just achieved a history-making silver medal in the 5 hoops competition. Now they come into this as the 7th best qualifiers, and we'll see what we see from the poll. This has a really memorable shape to it. It's a great routine.
Yo, Francis, el checkbook. Cintura, está bien, la cadera al 100. Y este ritmo se va bien lento, bailalo con la punta del pie. Cintura, está bien, la cadera al 100. Y este ritmo se va bien lento, bailalo con la punta del pie. Chipito, chipi, chipito, chipi, chipito, chipi, chipito. Chipito, chipi, chipito, chipi, chipito, chipi, chipito. Chipi, 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 chipito. Chipi, 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 chipito. Chipi, chipito, chipi, chipito. Chipi, 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 chipito. Chipito, chipi, chipito, chipi, chipito, chipi, chipito. Chipito, chipi, chipito, chipi, chipito, chipi, chipito. Chipi, 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 chipito. Chipi, 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 chipito. Chipi, chipito, chipi, chipito. Chipi, 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 chipito. Y seguimos dándole vuelta al mundo, música de otro planeta. Yo, Francis, now you know, el checkbook.
That is a routine full of glorious set pieces. I mentioned the shape of it before the start. Some of their construction is fantastic. It makes you smile. It's original. It shows a flamboyance. I don't know about you, Brian, but I just think the future of group rhythmic gymnastics in Poland, well, no, forget that, of rhythmic gymnastics in Poland, full stop, is so, so bright.
They have come such a long way. Both the senior group and the junior group in just the past few years. There's so much energy and enthusiasm. It's palpable. This routine was a wonderful introduction to what we will be seeing in this final. It's playful, it's fun, and it's thoroughly entertaining.
And it will be interesting to look at the overall score, which was 22.1 in qualification. Wonder if they've managed to pick up anything on the execution side of things. And by the way, they don't exactly have a bad crop of individuals, the Polish team, either, when you think of what we're going to see starting tomorrow. And I hope you can join us for all of the coverage of individual senior qualifications. Really exciting time to be supporting rhythmic gymnastics in Poland. I'm sure many of you are watching for that exact reason, and you must be tickled pink with the quality of gymnasts you've got coming through. Not that it's any surprise to see this in Poland. They've been very strong in European Cup competition this season. They scored 22.2. It is a small increase from qualification. The execution has gone up, the artistry has gone up, but they've lost a little difficulty. So it leads to much of a muchness. Now, you're about to see a performance from Turkey, and I won't tell you much about it, other than I think you'll find it quite fun. I'll leave this with you.
No digáis nada, no os entendería.
¡Se la banana!
Oh, hello, papagena. Tu le bella con la papaya. Tu le bella con la papaya. Oh, Pito patami lomi la takati qui pouletica. C'est pas la joie des mitoka la namoule et macarena. Moka coca pila caca pisa bella la basa la papa mama loca pipa pola gusta la romana. Moka coca pila caca pisa bella la basa la papa mama loca pipa pola gusta la romana. J'ai pas coda ni la toca posa pisa la lasagna. J'ai pas coda ni la toca posa pisa la lasagna. J'ai pas coda ni la toca moca pisa mata la lasagna. Moka coca pila caca pisa bella la basa la papa mama loca pipa pola gusta la romana.
Life is there to be enjoyed. That makes you smile. It does more than make you smile, it makes you laugh. It makes you laugh with them, because they utterly embrace the frankly absurd spirit of that routine. It is a brave stylistic choice, and I'm going to absolutely stick my neck out there and say, for me, it works wonderfully. I love it.
If there is one routine from the junior groups that you're going to remember a week from now, that you're going to tell your friends about, go, you have to see this exercise, it is this routine. What a brilliant concept, and what amazing orchestration. They pull it off so well. And it helps too that it was technically quite clean. The tosses, the catches were very good. The trajectory deductions, rather minimal.
You take a gamble when you do something that is frivolous, because something that has built-in comedy only works as comedy if it's performed to a high quality, if it's successful. It's just like any form of comedy, be it physical comedy, be it stand-up comedy, it only works when there's a high degree of skill in the performance. And we get that sufficiently high degree of skill from Turkey. They had some problems near the end by the looks of things, some trajectory imprecisions, but it was significantly stronger than qualification. 23.2. They have managed to gain about a mark and a half. And that could well have them in contention. Excellent performance. Really significantly there for Turkey, they picked up an extra 8/10 of difficulty compared to qualification. We now go to Ukraine, 23.5 in qualification, the third best. Here are the all-around gold medalists once again. And in this routine, they bring in Ahata Bilenko for Margarita Melnik. Margarita Melnik stepping away from a five hoops routine that remains a five hoops routine at the start.
There's something strange in a neighborhood. Who can I call? There's something weird and it don't look good. Who can I call?
Ghostbusters from the Gold Masters. Who are you going to call? Everyone in Ukraine and tell them about this history-making day, because you are looking at the all-around champions of Europe. Clyde, I want to return to something that we've said already about this routine, that it is a five clubs routine that starts as a hoop routine. It's playful, and then it gets into the really serious stuff, which is high-level technical gymnastics.
And it was so well performed tonight. This is such a good routine for them to end on. You're right. We've seen that a few times today. This wink towards the five hoops routine, especially at the beginning. They make great use of the clubs locked together. And that is actually something of an innovation in the past decade and a half in rhythmic gymnastics. You It didn't used to be that you could lock the clubs together, but now you can. And we see a lot of creativity stemming from that in the choreography.
They really have had a fantastic day. And nice to see them perform that sort of routine after not the easiest time of things in the previous apparatus final. But this time they can really depart, probably having given the performance that they hope to give. Super group of gymnasts. It scored well for artistry, as you would expect in the qualification campaign. It was only the Bulgarians that had a higher score for artistry. They're going to come right at the very end. Lots of lovely little nods here and there to Ghostbusters itself as a film series, as a zeitgeist, I suppose, because it's so popular and has remained popular for years and years and years, decades. One of those things, isn't it, that's transcended generations, actually, Ghostbusters. Oh, my word! 24.65, it's a huge number. That is fabulous from Ukraine. 9.9 for difficulty, 8/10 higher than qualification. The artistry's up, the execution's up. Overall, that may be unbeatable, frankly. We go now to the performance of Israel. Second best in qualification, and they were fourth in the all-around. 23.9 for this routine. Now, watch this one carefully. It is among the most difficult pieces of gymnastics that you will see from a junior group.
It's gonna be phenomenal, 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 phenomenal. It's gonna be watch me.
That is just extraordinary. The complexity in that routine from Israel. It's full of tiny moments that you have to stop and remind yourself you've just seen. Blythe, how do they go about accumulating the difficulty?
Oh my goodness. Well, rhythmic group gymnastics is judged on body difficulty and apparatus difficulty, the same as with individuals, but what the judges are really looking at is the difficulty with the exchanges, the difficulty without the exchanges, and the difficulty of their collaborations. And this is so difficult because they do so much. It's really no wonder there are different judging panels looking at the body difficulty versus the apparatus difficulty, because they need to with this. There's so much to keep track of. Something is happening all the time, and I defy any viewer to try to keep their eye on just one set of gloves, because they're exchanged so often.
Well, I think that's really key, isn't it? There's so much quick fire passing of the clubs going on, and often there's a lot of unsighted passing of the apparatus, and that's important, isn't it? The extent to which the gymnast has sight control of the pass and the catch.
It is one of the ways that you build difficulty, catching and throwing outside the visual field without the help of the hands as well during rotation, and they do all of that and more.
24.1, that is better than qualification. They have lost a little difficulty, but it is still the second highest difficulty we've seen. But Ukraine, with that extraordinary 24.65, well and truly in the lead.
Ready to compete now. Please welcome Italy.
Could this be a double gold day for the Ukrainians? Could it be a double gold day for the Italians? Now here they come with Flavia Casano in for Virginia Galeazzi in the 5 pairs of clubs routine. This scored 23.3 in qualification, where the Italians took the all-around bronze medal.
Alibaba, he had them 40 thieves. Shahrazad, he had 1,000 tales. But master, you're in luck, because up your sleeves you got a brand of magic never fails. You got some power in your corner now, heavy ammunition in your camp. You got some punch, pizzazz, and how all you gotta do is rub that lamp. Arabian night, like Arabian dream. This mystical land of magic and sand is more than it seems. There's a road that may lead you to good or to green, through the past, and the lies in your hands.
Only one may enter here. One whose worth lies far within. The diamond in the rough.
Oh! This the big part. Watch out! This the big part. Oh! Do your friends do this? Can your friends do that? Do your friends pull this? How do they little hat? Mr. Aladdin, yes, one wish or two or three. Well, I'm on the job, you big nabob. You ain't never had a friend, never had a friend. You ain't never had a friend, never had a friend. You ain't never had a friend like. You ain't never had a friend like me.
An Aladdin medley from Italy. I don't know about 3 wishes, but they might be in line for 3 medals here. And they're not going to need a genie to help them accomplish it. This is a junior group. These are all junior groups. Can we just take a moment to recognise we've got gymnasts as young as 13 in that team. That was spectacular. It's such iconic music, Blythe, and it's hard to live up to it. They do it with no question.
The performance quality is astoundingly good. The combinations and collaborations are original and creative, and this was a far stronger performance than what they did in qualification. What they did in qualification was good. This was next level.
It will be interesting to look at the artistry score here. In terms of the overall mood that was created, it utterly matched musically. There was no doubt about that. A real sense of them understanding the world of the orchestration and bringing that to life on the floor. What a great final it's been. And this is what I like to call a double apparatus final. When you've got 5 pairs of clubs, you're really dealing with 10 apparatus. It's amazing to see such a high level of technical skill.
The gymnasts themselves are very cognizant that that was great. You saw the reaction just after they hit the ending pose, and then they ran off screaming and waving and hugging and crying.
They are, as you said, well up from qualification by over half a mark. 23.9. The artistry score, as we suspected, has gone up. The difficulty has gone down by 2/10. It's a tiny drop, but the execution is well up. Overall, that's a big game from the Italians. Still Ukraine in the lead. We go to the antepenultimate group. This is Spain, who scored 23.2 in qualification. They were the all-around silver medalists. Good luck to them. This is so different from their first routine. Musically, it's a million miles away.
How's everybody doing tonight? you, and you. Loosen up inside, honey, cause it's going to be hot in here. Come on, honey, sing it.
Wanna spend some time with me, boy, but I'm not coming home till 3, boy. Yes, I wanna dance the cool style. 'Cause it's marvelous, bizarreless, celestial, and bestial. Just off your shoes. Tonight we're gonna choose the cool side. Let's kick this thing up, fellas.
Very well done to Spain on what has been a splendid day for junior Spanish rhythmic gymnastics. A day for the record books. This is a routine that has got a sense of flamboyance that fits the music well, but they never forget the balletic fundamentals of rhythmic gymnastics, and yet they make it playful. You've got that lovely moment where one gymnast does the attitude derriere above the other four as they're bending over, which is great and almost is a little frivolous with ballet, and then they burst into those wonderful fouette turns, all of which are pretty well spot on. It's almost like saying, we can do the ballet, we just choose to do it in our own way, in a slightly unusual way.
The 10 clubs is really a forte for Spain. The last time it was on the senior program was a decade ago, and Spain was world champion senior group twice with the 10 clubs.
I bet there are many of you out there with fond memories of that. And there'll be fond memories from today as well. Excellent work.
And now we are waiting for the scores for Spain.
But we just go back to whether anyone can get beyond that Ukraine score of 24.65. Close for Spain, virtually the same as qualification. 33.25, they're in fourth position. So Ukraine, Israel and Italy with 2 left. Whatever the outcome today for these gymnasts, whether they make it onto a podium or not, they have exceeded expectations. The pressure that they've been under, the way they've handled that, the way they've responded to this really supportive crowd, it's been a joy to watch. Good luck to Estonia. Anastasia Nemirovskaya comes in for Kristina Yegorova. They were the 6th best in qualification.
Oh, yeah, I'm on my way, I'm coming. Don't lose faith in me. I know you've been waiting. I know you've been praying for my soul. Oh. I don't want you to feel like a failure. I know this hurts, but it's time to give the people something different. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my album. Hope. What's my definition of success? Creating something no one else can. Being brave enough to dream big. Years of my life trying to fill a void, pretending I was certain they get it. Evil, difficult to go through, yes, but beneficial. Some would say having a mental breakdown is a negative thing, which on one hand I agree, but on the other hand, it was the push I needed to get help and start the healing process. See, if I didn't ever hit my bottom, would I be the person that I am today? I don't believe so. I'm a wake up every day and pick my son up, hold him in my arms and let him know he's loved. Standing by the window, questioning if that is ever going to show up. Isn't something he's gonna have to worry about. Don't get it twisted, that was in a shot. Mama, I forgive you, I just don't want him to grow up thinking that he'll never be enough. 30 years of running, 30 years of searching, 30 years of hurting, 30 years of pain, 30 years of fearful, 30 years of anger, 30 years of empty, 30 years of shame, 30 years of broken, 30 years of anguish, 30 years of hopeless, 30 years of hate, 30 years of never, 30 years of maybe, 30 years of later, 30 years of faith. I know I can change. We are not enough. We are not the same. You don't have the heart. You don't have the strength. You don't have the will. You don't have the faith. You'll never be loved. You'll never be safe. Might as well give up. Not running away. You don't have the guts. You're the one to
Take a moment, Estonia, and drink this in. This is your championships, your crowd, your people. I come to see you, and you've done them proud. You've done your sport proud and your country proud. So take a moment and look around at them as you bid them farewell. That's a super effort. Haven't they been fun to watch?
They have been. And they are engaging in more than just rhythmic gymnastics here. There is in this country a magnificent cultural tradition of dance and of music. Every summer in Estonia, people from all over the country come together in a celebration of traditional dance and traditional songs. There was a great opening ceremony just before this event where that was touched on, and it is clear what it means in the hearts of the people. Musicality, creativity, and engaging in partner dances of all kinds. This is just an extension of that.
The top scorer in the qualification.
I've been commentating rhythmic gymnastics for 10 years this month, and I'm about to use a phrase I've never used when commentating rhythmic gymnastics before. My favourite bit is the shuffling on the knees. I love that. It is fabulous choreography. And it's wonderful to see the evolution of a sport. It's wonderful to see how something can actually evolve as society evolves, as dance evolves, so rhythmic gymnastics can evolve without losing the balletic core that must remain at the heart of it. But it too must change its cultural identity, its artistic identity. And that's a routine that demonstrates it really nicely. And I defy anyone not to enjoy that lovely bit of choreographed shuffling. I'm sure there's a proper dance move that young people call it, but I'm not a young person, so I don't know what it is.
Estonia in. Here we go.
Now, where are they going to finish? Up it goes. This is looking good. This is looking very good. 23.95 with 1 to go. The Estonians are in the bronze medal position. My goodness me. Could they do it? If they hold on, that will be Estonia's first ever medal in junior competition at the European Rhythmic Gymnastics Championships. We're going to finish with Bulgaria, and they scored 24.3 in the qualifying campaign. So, if the Bulgarians manage to match what they did in the all-around final, which was, as I said, qualification for this, they'll go into the silver medal position. Here we go, last routine. And now we wait to see whether the Bulgarians have managed to do enough to get onto the podium. Elena Hristova came in for Gabriela Trojkova in that performance. The Bulgarians bid farewell at the conclusion of the junior competition at these championships. Huge congratulations to all of the gymnasts who participated, to those who've made it into finals. Some great moments in that performance from Bulgaria, Blythe, and very noticeably some issues too, so a lot for the judges to contemplate.
Clearly, there were some beautiful sequences. There was one flagrant drop of the apparatus, the retrieval of which necessitated a couple of steps. So we're looking at a deduction of in the neighborhood of 7/10 of a point, in addition to some lost difficulty. In their first routine in the qualification, they also made a mistake, but in a different place. It was closer to the beginning of the routine. So maybe we'll see some like for like here. It might be that this mistake was a bit more egregious, but time will tell.
Well, the Estonians are waiting to see if they've managed to hold on to take bronze. As I said, they never won a junior medal at the European Championships. They did win a bronze medal in the 5 balls for seniors in 2020.
The team of Ukraine!
Bulgaria have just managed to get the bronze medal, 24.05. And as a result, Ukraine have taken another gold medal. Double gold for Ukraine. 2 out of the 3 available golds. Fabulous championships for them. Israel winning silver, Bulgaria taking the bronze. You can feel in the crowd a sense almost of them being winded by that. They were hoping Estonia would just hold on, and it's marginal. It's a tenth of a mark. The Estonians have finished 4th, and they couldn't have given more. That was a superb effort from the Estonians. What won it for Bulgaria was higher difficulty by 4/10. Their execution was quite considerably lower than the Estonians. The artistry was a little higher, but not much of a difference. But it was the difficulty that was the determining factor. Ukraine winning 2 gold medals, and we will bring you the victory ceremonies, all 3 of them, for the 2 apparatus final and for the all-around competition in just a short while. Don't go too far away, scenes of celebration are next.
39 riigist kokku 800 osalejat selguvad Euroopa meistrid individuaal- ja rühmakavade arvestuses. Võimlemise tippsündmust aitavad teieni tuua European Gymnastics, Eesti Võimlemisliit, Eurovision, Smart Scoring, SPIF. Sündmust toetavad Kultuuriministeerium, Tallinna linn, Autospirit, GVM, Lux Express, Motorola Solutions, Räni kinnisvara, Alcantara, D-Difference, Fežene. Lase oma unistused lendu.
questions in my head. Why'd you live? Where'd you go? I'm on the dance floor, but it's sinking. And I don't think my heart would flow. When you were here, I had no fear, but always music in my ears. You made my heart beat like no others. I miss you more than words can say, more than life, more than
Gymnastics European Championship Tallinn 2025 medal ceremony, junior groups all-around final.
tervitame soojalt võitjaid.
Please welcome the successful gymnasts.
It's now time for the victory ceremony for the junior group all-around competition at the European Rhythmic Gymnastics Championships Tallinn 2025.
kolmas koht, pronksmedal.
In third place, winner of the bronze medal, representing Italy, Flavia Domignani, Chiara Tortese, Virginia Galeazzi, Ginevra Pasqualina, and Elisabetta Valdifiori.
Huge congratulations to the Italians, the winners of the bronze medal in this group all-around competition.
In second place, winner of the silver medal, representing Spain, Monica Donoso, Noah Escoles, Claudia Marino, Cynthia Ortega.
Silver won by the Spaniards. A fantastic result for them. First group success at the European Championships in junior competition.
Representing Ukraine, Ahata Bilenko, Anastasia Nikolenko, Taistia Redka, Alexandra Samkina, and Katarina Shershin. Coach Katarina Pavanovska, Ukraine.
And it's gold for Ukraine. A fabulous display. Champions of Europe. A history-making moment for Ukrainian rhythmic gymnastics. And they've had a lot of history-making moments over the years. The bronze medals presented to Flavia Casano, Elisa Maria Comignani, Chiara Cortese, Virginia Galeazzi, Ginevra Pasquarella, Elisabetta Valdifiori. The silver medals presented to Monica De Juana, Paola Donoso, Noah Espluguet, Claudia Marino, and Cynthia Ortega. And the gold medals presented to Ahata Bilenko, Maharita Melnik, Anastasia Nikolenko, Taisia Redka, Alexandra Nicole Samukina, and Katarina Shershin. And we will have, as a result, the national anthem of Ukraine. And there they are, the medalists in the junior group all-around competition at the Tallinn 2025 European Championship of Rhythmic Gymnastics.
Thank you.
We continue with the scenes of celebration here in Tallinn.
Rhythmic Gymnastics European Championships Tallinn 2025. The award ceremony, junior groups, 5 groups final.
autasustame viied rõnga finaalvõistlust.
Please welcome the successful gymnasts.
Ja meie ees on parimad koondised.
We're now proceeding to the 5 hoops victory ceremony at the Tallinn 2025 European Rhythmic Gymnastics Championships and the junior competition.
Kolmas koht, pronksmedal.
In third place, winner of the bronze medal, representing Israel, Melanie Malika, Sofia Brechin, Emilia Redman, Abigail Schmidt, and Karen Sobol, Coach Ayat Sussman.
Israel, the winners of the bronze medal, and that having been the 6th best in qualification too.
In second place, winner of the silver medal, representing Poland, Natalia Istnia, Alina Majkowska, Valeria Pinska, Laura Tachela, and Liam Brooks. Coach Olga Valentina.
What a fantastic accomplishment for the Poles, winning the silver medal.
Kuldmedalisti Euroopa meistrid 2025.
In first place, winner of the gold medal and European champion 2025, representing Italy, Elisa Maria Tomignoni, Chiara Cortese, Gina Galeazzi, Ginevra Pasquarella, and Elisabetta Valdifiori, Coach Tiziana Tolonese. Italy!
Italy, the champions of Europe in junior competition. A fabulous performance. They were the 3rd best in qualification and produced a display good enough to take the European Championship title when the final came around. The bronze medals presented to Israel and Melanie Malka, Sofia Prezhin, Emilia Reutemann, Abigail Schwed and Karen Sobol. The silver medals presented to Natalia Iginiak, to Maria Majkowska, to Valeria Pinska, Lara Twachawa and Leia Turovska. And the gold medals presented to Flavia Casano, Elisa Maria Comignani, Chiara Cortese, Virginia Galeazzi, Ginevra Pascarella and Elisabetta Valdifiori.
palume võimalust täita ja hümniks.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you're in honor of the winner, the national anthem of Italy.
Suur aplaus võitjas.
Give it up for the best gymnasts!
And there they are, the medalists in the 5 hoops competition at the European Rhythmic Gymnastics Championships and the junior competition.
One more applause, thanks to our gymnasts!
Suur tänu võitjatele, autasustajatele.
We have one more ceremony to bring you, and that will be for the 5 pairs of clubs competition.
European Championships Tallinn 2025. Awards ceremony, junior group, 5 pairs of clubs final.
tervitame aplausiga võitjaid.
Please welcome the successful juniors.
The victory ceremony for the 5 pairs of clubs competition at the European Rhythmic Gymnastics Championships and the Junior competitions of Tallinn 2025.
kolmas koht, pronksmedal.
In third place, winner of bronze medal, representing Bulgaria, Elena Boshilova, Anania Dimitrova, Elena Ristova, Joanna Boteva, and Ivaila Velkovska, coach Kristina Delfinova.
Bulgaria winning the bronze medal.
teine koht,
In second place, winner of the silver medal, representing Israel, Melanie Maika, Sofia Brisin, Emilia Reitman, Abigail Schmitz, and Coach Heine Guzman.
The silver medal won by the group from Israel. They were the second best performers in qualification.
In first place, winner of the gold medal and European champion 2025, representing Ukraine, Agata Milenko, Anastasia Nikolenko, Kaisia Redka, Alexandra Samokina, and Katarina Sheshen. Coach Katarina Baranovska, Ukraine!
And it is a second gold medal for Ukraine. A fantastic championships.
The medal ceremony is held by Michel Buta, European Gymnastics Vice President.
The medals presented to Bulgaria and Raya Bozhilova, Anania Dimitrova, Elena Hristova, Joanna Moteva, Gabriela Trajkova, and Ivela Velkovska. Silver to Israel and Melanie Malka, Sofia Prezhin, Emilia Reutemann, Abigail Shved, and Keren Sobol. The gold medals won by Ukraine. Ahata Bilenko, Maharita Melnik, Anastasia Nikolenko, Taisia Redka, Alexandra Nikol Samokina, and Katarina Shershen. And we will have for the second time today the national anthem of Ukraine.
palume
One more time. A round of applause.
And there they are, the medalists in the 5 pairs of clubs competition at the 41st European Rhythmic Gymnastics Championships.
And thanks also to Luigi, the official mascot of European Gymnastics.
And that brings to a close our coverage today. I hope you've enjoyed it all. The Tallinn 2025 European Championships of Rhythmic Gymnastics well and truly underway here in Estonia. And we'll be back tomorrow at 10 o'clock local time for all of the action from the seniors qualifications. It all begins tomorrow for the seniors, and that brings to a close the junior event. Until tomorrow then, from me, Ollie Hogman, and from Blythe Lawrence, it's goodbye, but not farewell.